Welcome back to the channel. On this video, let's discuss investment in project management. If you are an executive, if you are a leader of an organization, when you decide to go ahead with a project, you're making an investment decision. Now, how are you going to measure success of that investment? Hello again, Sylvain Gauthier, your executive producer. One statistic that gets published in many conferences, and I don't know if the backup behind this is solid, but that statistic gets quoted by big companies, usually in PMI conference and other type of events like this. 75% of projects fail. You probably heard that before. If you haven't, well, it's your first time. Well, I didn't make the statistics. I got it from people presenting in different conferences. And when you hear that, it was like, how do you define failure? Okay. Or let's say we got 25% of projects that succeed. So how do we define success? And for that, let me share with you a story, okay, in order to help a little bit about how we could define and try to assess that number. What does that mean? Okay, or where does that come from? So not long ago, I meet a CEO, and I was like, Sylvain, could you help us? Because we're having, a certain challenge with our project management. I go with my team here in Montreal. It takes me an hour to figure out where we are. They explain to me. I say, I think I know. I get on a plane. I go to Los Angeles. It takes me an hour because they have it totally different. I go to Hong Kong. Again, another way. Etc. So everywhere I go, it seems they have different ways of reporting, or at least, for us, it's very difficult to figure out. I say, yeah, okay, we probably can standardize the communication of status, so it's easier for you to figure out where you are. But of course, we're not going to change everybody because it might be the situation that they're using different methodology. And that's why it's kind of different. Of course, if you go to one place and they're using agile, and another place they're using traditional, and someone's doing an hybrid. So it might be confusing, from a communication perspective. So I can understand that and say, okay, so give me your best project. Well, we'll try to understand what they did, learn from their way that they approach it, and use that as a framework for communication. And we'll see how we could adapt the different location to use that kind of framework. Even though they have a methodology, sometimes it's difficult to squeeze into this. We'll see how we could build that interface. So for you could, and I was like, yeah, okay. So, and I'm going to invent a name here, which is a real project we had many years ago. But that was not the project for him because I don't want to point at the company by itself. So it's like, go see Pegasus. This is my best project that we had. So if I got all my project like this, I'm happy. And therefore, it would be my good model. I'm like, okay, so let's go meet the project manager of Pegasus. Happened that the product manager sitting right there with them. So I say, guys, you two had the best project according to your CEO. We want to learn from you. We want to see what tools you use. How did you communicate? How did you manage this whole thing? We want to review everything. And the two is looking at me. I was like, what? What are you talking about, the best project? We overrun the cost, by many millions of dollars. We were late by 6 months. We piss off the customer because we had to go back and retrofit the equipment 2-3 times. The team was really, burned out, and we had 7 really burned out people just leaving. Everybody wanted to quit this project. So it was a disaster. Nobody wants to work on something like that. It cannot be. And I was like, yeah, that's based on what you're telling me. It's definitely something really challenge here. So what do you think he meant? The CEO. I think maybe it confused the project. He probably talking about another project that we had, and we're going to call it Aladdin for sake. And some of you will say, hey, he's using the name within our company. I was like, yeah. So if you make that connection but it's not this project that I'm talking about. So Aladdin, these guys were on time, better than cost, big party at the end, big celebration. It was, that's the way we should do project. and we would get the satisfaction from the people. I was like, okay, so let me go check with the CEO, just make sure that he's okay with that. So I go back, I say, Mr. CEO, it looks like Pegasus was kind of challenged. How about we take Aladdin? Seems to me a better candidate for that kind of exercise we're trying to do. And the CEO is looking at me and said, I understand, that Aladdin, they were on time, they were on cost, big party. But I got a warehouse full of the damn thing. I can't sell it, okay? Pegasus, yeah, we burned few people. We were late. We overrun on costs, badly. But today we're number one in the market because of this. So you ask me the way I want my project, I want Pegasus. I don't want Aladdin. I don't want that, okay? Woo, good delivery on that, and now you start to look two projects, okay? One, everything went wrong from a team perspective, but from some stakeholders that are, looking at the benefit, looking at the business side, we like that. The other project, okay, everything went well from a team perspective. We want to do a project like this. But from a stakeholders, again, looking at benefit, receiving that, it's like, I don't want that. I don't want this, okay? So in both projects, we have people declaring success and we have people declaring failure. And that's why, as you're going to grow in the business and you're going to have bigger projects, it's going to be very difficult to get 100% of your stakeholder declaring your project a success, okay? There's always going to be certain stakeholders that won't agree, okay? That is a success. Give you some example, okay? You have today some movies that are really good at the box office, amazing number at the box office, won all kind of praise of people. However, and you might say, hey, movie is going to be like a big success. Everybody's happy. But I could find stakeholders that say, never, I want to get involved in a movie like this again. Why? Because we're losing money. Just to give you an example, your production costs, you have a rule about 4 to 5 times, in terms of, revenue, box office and other type of revenue in order to recover your costs for the production, because there's a recoup value chain that you have to go through. So a movie that makes $900 million, you might say, and is costing us $250 million, you could calculate and say, yeah, probably losing money, okay? And now you got stakeholders that are not happy, while all the other ones are happy, okay? How many times that we see, project winning awards, okay, that are based on the results they got, and they were a disaster from a project perspective. I could talk about a subway, in my city, an extension of the subway that was late. Cost a lot more money. Was a lot of tough time for the people doing that. But today, they can get an award no problem, because, from a society perspective, that extension was, everybody would say, yeah, it's great. If you go back to in the initial investment and you would have said to the investors, hey, it's going to cost you that much more, it's going to take more, and here's how many people would be pissed off, I'd say, yeah, let's do it. Because if I can get these results with the society, the business side, everybody's all happy about this, let's go. Okay? So we also had a bridge. Same thing. Bridge took more time, cost more, people upset. But today, from a society perspective, this is, an award winner. Which may take me to where are today the real measurement of success. And for some of you, what I'm going to tell you now over the next few minutes, it's going to shock you. I might go against certain rule of project management, but you better know now than later. So let's get into it. We have been learning in the past, okay, as I am an old project manager that, been trained in project management a long time ago, and we've been doing it quite a bit, okay? And, you probably heard about this one, the project right, the right project. So Project right means I'm a project manager. This is what you want. I make it happen. I convert that. Whether I'm using traditional, whether I'm using agile, I didn't map the agile here because it was going to make it too crowded. It doesn't matter. How do I convert? I get to the end. I pass it to whoever is the stakeholder receiving that, so they go and get the results. For example, I introduce a new system, a new software, pass it on to operation. Go ahead, guys, go get your results. Okay, I'm out. Okay, finish there, and you go get the objective. The reason, well, I don't care what was the reason you wanted, because I am the delivery guy. That's what you want. That's what you wanted from me. I'm going to do it. Okay, and this is it. Then after that, you do what you have to do. And for many years, that's what we've learned. Let's deliver on time, on cost, on quality, and in line with the business results. Okay? But we never worry, do we get the business results? Does that do the job at the end? Not our worry, because it's not me that decided that wanted to do that. And here I'm talking about a project that could come from a contract, or what I call a push, which is somebody internally that's got a problem, that's got an opportunity, and they come to see, for example, the project management office or the project manager, say, could you help us, put in place that solution that we want to put? Okay. So any case that comes to us, we take it, we make it happen. That's what we do. We do our charter, we're going to initiate, we're going to plan, we do our project management plan, we're going to execute, and we'll deliver. And there you go get your results. Okay. However, more and more people will be looking at and say, hold on a second. You're declaring that this project is a big success because you deliver based on, I'm looking, I don't see the results. I'm turning to the finance guys and say, hey, the justification for this project was supposed to get cost reduction. Do you see cost reduction? One was like, no, my cost went up. Okay. I'm asking manufacturing. This project was supposed to improve your lead time. We're supposed to redo. Is it? Well, not really. Okay. We still have that. We still have this problem. And I'm looking at the marketing guys. This product was supposed to sell how much? Is it selling? Well, so we have some CEOs that are pissed off, okay? And they're clearly saying it. We've been training, investing quite a bit. If those of you that are PMI, you see the growth of the membership in PMI, how many people got trained in project management, okay? People have been trained to be machine to produce project. Don't get me wrong, we still have problem with that, and there's a big fight. Is that good? Should be done with Scrum, or should be done with this, and things like that. But it's all focused on getting to the end with these projects. We never look really what happened in the last mile to get the results. Okay, if we need to bring an ERP, okay, enterprise resource planning, and we're going to be changing the operation. I understand. I'm not the one that actually saw this and see the opportunity and, we're going to be saving a lot of money. So I want that. I'm going to implement that. And saying we're going to declare success on the implementation, forget it. It's not going to happen. Okay? You might declare a success. You might say, we're good, we deliver, which is the mistake of a lot of project management office, by the way, slapping. They say, we're good, we're delivering project. Look at how many projects we delivered. Did you deliver the results? It's not us. It's up to them. You're not going to get success if we don't get the results. I guarantee you that, okay? If you do a great operation and the patient die, it's not success. Which means now, and this is where I know some of you are just backing away right now. It's like, whoa, what is he saying? Am I going to be in charge of selling? Am I going to be in charge of doing layoff? No, that's not what I'm saying, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to worry that these things are happening. You got to look, is this going to be happening? Are these guys getting ready? And that's why one of the key components I was not worried before is change management. In the past, I was not worried about change management. It was somebody else. Okay, well, yeah. HR, they got change management. The other guys here is going to do change management. Not me. I'm just doing the project. I'm delivering that. Get yourself. What do you need from me? Oh, you need a presentation. I'm going to go do that. Okay, that's it. That was my. But now, no more. Change management is my intelligence. Is my eyes on. Are we going to get these results? And I sit down, have a coffee with my change manager. And by the way, okay, change management by itself, it's a way. It's a methodology. It's different skill than project management. Having a project manager say, we're going to train a project manager to do change management. No. Okay. Change managers, they have ways of operating that. Okay. They have model, ADCAR, and there's others there, right? So you let them do their job the way that they can do that. And you sit down with them and say, okay, tell me about it. And the way it goes, I sit down with my change manager to come back and say, okay, I got a meeting with this functional manager. Honestly, it doesn't believe in it, right? They're not saying it loud because it comes from this boss, but they don't think it's going to do the job. They're actually resisting this whole thing, So you're going to have a problem there, right? And they don't, or they would say, people have no idea what's going on. Nobody's telling them anything. They hear rumor right now that might have some cut. You're asking the director say, well, wouldn't I don't know what's, how this going to work at the end. They're not saying. They're going to tell you, it's going to be your, let's say, CIA, if you want, of eyes and ears going there, telling you what's going on and what's not going on. They're not changing their process. What do you need to change? They would ask question, okay, so, you know that you need to deliver that kind of reduction when the project hears. So how are you going to get that? Are you going to make layoff? Are you, because it's got to come out of your budget somewhere, right? Well, no, I'm not touching my budget. I'm not layoffing anybody. Okay, so it's good to know, because if I know that I am the project manager, I'm going to go back to the people that has justified that, or the committee that say yes to this. We want these results. I'm going to tell you, okay, hey, it's not happening. You're not going to get these results. Okay, if you don't start working with that, if you don't validate these assumptions from the business case, you're not going to get that. Okay. You're actually going to get a cost increase, because now we're going to add certain things that will require the skill set of other people to be able to handle that new system, that new product. Okay. And we're not letting go anybody. Okay. We're not talking to the union to review the job description in function of this new process. We're not mapping the new process and reworking that. We're not doing the change in the organization or the layout of the department that we need, okay? Whatever are required in the last mile to get the results, it's get a big concern for us, okay? And that's why your change management is there to help you to understand that and help you to say, what do I need to do in order to facilitate that? But if also I see that's not going to happen, they're not going to do it, so I go back to the initial investment and say, people, these results are not going to happen. Okay, they're not getting there. And plenty of examples of how this could happen. So that's an important piece that we need to consider, because we're moving from a situation where we were delivering project to a situation where we're going to be delivering results using project. If we have to take a hit on time, on cost for something like that, the first obsession that we have, do we still have the results? Can I still go get these results? Okay, that will be my obsession. Okay, if I have to take a hit on time, on cost, and I still maintain the results, is it still worth it to do that? I'm going to question, yes, it's still worth it. Right? I will finish, I will push always versus time, cost, and quality. The business results that was expected, can we still get it? And if for some reason it's happening in Christmas, we need to be there on December 24 to get the Christmas, time for selling. It's an e-commerce solution. If we miss Christmas, that's it. It's done for this year. And then we say, now we're late. We're having this issue. We're going to miss pretty much the results that we were expecting in Christmas. Then it's a different, you need to go back and say, do we still want to do that? If we're going to miss that, do we want to do something else? Should we stop this thing and do something else to go get these results? But we're not just going to close our eyes and say, yeah, we're going to deliver and we're going to come on December 26th. It's only 2 days. Yeah, we missed the results, okay? And sometimes, delaying, coming later, you sit down with the stakeholder that will say, okay, listen, we're going to come later on this one because we had to pull the resource. We had the crisis, COVID and stuff like that. So project is delaying. And then I say, okay, this is the results we were looking, right? We were looking to fix this process and recover on productivity or whatever was the reason. Do we still have it even though we come late? And then the person would say, yeah, it's just a delay of when the results come in, but definitely we're gonna okay, so we keep it going. Okay, and the success will be on the results. Okay, same thing. If results are no longer valid, like for example, we have reasons to invest in project before COVID that are no longer valid right now. When you look at the situation right now in certain industry, okay, the business objective of these things is not going to happen. So what do? We keep our eyes and say, oh, no, we can deliver. Or we're looking at this, come back to them and say, hey, it's not going to happen. Okay, what do we do with this? Should we revert the change or put it on hold and wait the conditions are better and then reinvest the resource on something else? Okay, so that's the kind of thing that we need to consider in order for us to move from delivering project to deliver results with project. Over the last 25 years, I don't know. I've lost count on how many people are in project management and train in project management. I think you could get the number from PMI. It's amazing. I think we know how to do project, okay? And people knows how to do project. And I think we have to stop just fighting on the method to do the project. Is it an agile scrum? Is it a traditional waterfall? Is it a combination, a hybrid? It doesn't matter how you get to the end right now. Is how we get to the benefit. And somehow benefit management, which is a key topic now in any PMI conference where we start to talk about this, is not just to understand the benefit, is how do we get the benefit? And that's the name of the game now.